please.
Jester who got in prison say not?
Please stop.
We're back, alright? So, there's that.
Don't make me bring Tempest and Venom over here.
Yes.
Please, no. Please, don't bring them.
Do bring them over if it gets tedious.
No, please.
By all means, I don't care.
No, please.
I'll
Seems
distract them.
Seems like someone is afraid. Do I sense fear?
I am not.
Bree said she wouldn't do it anymore, so let's leave Bree alone. It's Jonesy who is insinuating the matter.
Alright. Oh, and by the way, Ashley started the recording.
Oh dear.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright. Let's go.
Okay. This is chapter 27 with Riella and Ryan. I'm gonna say Ryan because it makes more sense.
The bread rinds.
Elementary school. Ryan, from elementary school, if you're hearing this, I apologize in advance. You're awesome, girl.
So we good?
It was a bit later in the afternoon.
Dinella had returned to the front room to act as a defense against any nightmares alongside the police officers that were stationed at the facility. He stayed hidden behind a pillar in the hospital lobby so that he wouldn't needlessly attract the enemy, and so he wouldn't scare off any new patients that might come in. In his spare time, he kept his other promise, patching up the hole he made earlier using tools and materials provided by the staff. A rather nice picture of several cute baby animals together now hung over the blemish on the wall until it could be repainted. Aww.
He honestly thought the room seemed a bit nicer with the picture.
The robot had the doors open and carefully peered out from his hiding spot to find that the intruder was just a woman who looked exhausted. In her arms was a large blanket-wrapped bundle.
I need a doctor, please.
Pleaded the woman.
My daughter's leg is broken.
A man and a woman, both nurses, quickly walked out to the mother with a stretcher.
Since Dr. Bendy's not here, do you want to be the Dr. Ree?
I'm gonna use a deep voice.
Go ahead, give it a try.
No, I'm scared.
No, do whatever voice you want to use.
I can actually hear her laugh now. Oh yeah, Ree got a new microphone.
Yay!
But Ree, you can do any silly voice you want to do.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Please, said Hoyle.
Said the man. The woman obeyed, gently laying her daughter down. The lady nurse, Miss Megumi, carefully removed the blanket from the girl and started inspecting her leg. The poor girl flinched at the nurse's touch. Miss Megumi looked back up at the mother.
It's definitely broken, and it's been at least for several hours. Do you know what happened?
The mother shook her head.
We were separated when the invasion started.
She looked down at the girl, stroking her forehead tenderly.
I feared the worst. Yet I found her wrapped in this blanket within the rubble, still alive. Unconscious and sick, but alive. Even after that dreadful storm. I don't know what happened, but I believe someone was helping her. I didn't see anyone, but I found this next to her.
From his hiding place, Dinella saw the mother pull Riella's persona out of her pocket. He smiled. I'm really surprised that she's able to fit that in there. Unless it's like a big pocket. Because that mask is freaking huge.
Big pocket.
So, it's finally begun. I hope he's alright.
The metallic jester whispered, despite all the evil the red jester has done, all the cruel things he has said, Dinella held onto his compassion for him, just like his mom taught him long ago.
Is this me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we will have Dr. Jackson take a look at her, but it looks like she's going to be alright, miss.
The male
hang
nurse
on.
informed the mother with a kind smile.
Hang on, before we continue. Ree, with that voice, go mwah.
What? Go what?
You sound like swamp sands.
What? What?
Go like what? Wahaha?
Mwah.
Wahaha.
Like Papyrus says, yeah.
Wahaha. Oh my goodness! Stop with this.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll do that more later. But you seriously sound like him. Anyway, thank goodness.
The mother nearly cried, second in relief.
I've been running around most of the day, trying to get her to a doctor, but all the other hospitals were full up, and all the roads were blocked.
Miss Megumi hugged the poor mother.
Your daughter's in very good hands now.
The male nurse grabbed a clipboard of papers from the security and walked over to the mother.
Security.
Oh, our rooms are starting to fill up, but I'm so weak. We can find a space for you after the doctor. Okay, what?
Does.
Wait, what? When did he stop and start reading? Okay, what's going on? I'm sorry, I'm tired. Okay. After doctor does a more
Thorough.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I can do this.
Thorough examination. Now just go on from there.
We just need you to fill out these forms, our records here.
Yeah,
Please.
it really is easier to tell what you're trying to say. Thank you, new Mike.
She can share with us.
Called a voice from behind the pillar.
There's an extra bed in our room. Number 345.
Miss Megumi smiled, knowing it was Dinella.
Then it's settled. Thank you, sir.
The mother was a bit weirded out by how the stranger's voice sounded, but tried to be polite, thinking it could be a person with a speech handicap. What?
Well, I had a great grandpa who had to have one of those robot voices on his throat, and he talked like this. Because he smoked. So she probably thinks something like that.
Okay.
Or who's that guy who's in the wheelchair that has to talk with the robot voice?
Stephen Hawkins?
Yes.
Probably something like that, like has to use a machine to help him talk or to talk for him. Probably something more like my great grandpa
Okay,
with
okay.
the robot thing on his throat.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
It's no problem, miss.
Came the answer as the nurses moved the stretcher to the double doors.
I hope your daughter gets better soon.
The jester waited for a few moments after they went through the doors before he came out. Making sure to not be seen by the mother, Dinella flew back to his room, shutting the door gently behind him. He proceeded to grab the privacy curtain for the bed that NiGHTS was in and pull it closed, hiding himself, Owl, Molly, and asleep at night from view.
His friends all blinked in confusion.
And Sinclair walked up to the curtain.
Xavier, what's going on?
Nothing major, Clarice.
She heard him answer.
Just another family being moved into this room, since the hospital is so crowded. I figured it would be best to stay out of sight. One of the doctors has to look over the little girl first, so we have some time.
Owl looked up at the I can't say it.
Metal.
Middle gesture floating above the bed.
Did you have something to do with this?
Well, yes, I did.
Dinella answered.
Will
There.
I can't say it. Stared at the curtain.
Why would you do that if you don't want Knights to be seen?
The mother of the little girl. She had something I think you guys need to see to believe.
King Dinella's answer.
But until she gets here, have you come up with any ideas on how to stop the invasion before wise men can get through?
Mr. Edwards crossed his arms, thinking on what the group had discussed.
When we freed Knights and took down the tower, the portals should have closed back up, but they didn't. Which means one of two things. Either there's something keeping them open, or they are now self-sustaining portals.
I really hope they aimed the second one.
Well, said Helen.
We wouldn't be able to close those.
I wouldn't say that, Helen.
Uttered Dinella, coming out from behind the curtain. He knelt down, setting a hand on her shoulder, giving her a smile.
If that is the case, we will find a way. Don't you worry.
Helen couldn't help but smile back.
Unfortunately, if it is the first option...
Mr. Edwards continued.
And the portal... My voice cracked there. And the portals have an alternate device keeping them open. We have no idea where to start looking.
The current plan is to go back to NiGHTopia and see if we can find Jackal again. He has been more than helpful.
Ms. Sinclair added.
Hopefully we can get some more answers.
Well, sadly I'm not in this chapter, so you're out of luck.
Drat.
Foiled again. You know.
Will spoke up from his chair by the window.
You seem pretty relaxed You seem pretty relaxed around the being that used to haunt your nightmares. I can't ever see myself getting used to Don Balon.
Camelot.
I can't say Camelot or even Cerberus.
A shiver went through the entire room at the mention of the evil hound. Yep. I can understand why.
Jackal seems different. Like Knights.
Miss Sinclair finally said.
He wasn't as bad as the other nightmares. He actually ran away instead of chased after me when Knights and I had to face him, only laughing and throwing cards.
Sounds like he wasn't really interested in fighting. It's true.
Said
Says Molly.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Says Molly still was in the curtain.
Who knows what that mad Knight Baron's motivation is?
Muttered.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Muttered Owl.
But whichever the case may be regarding the portals, this is a risky situation. If we do not find out how to close those portals soon, we're all doomed. Doomed!
I tell you!
We're doomed! Doomed, I tell you, doomed!
Stop.
Sorry.
I left it in there on purpose.
That's a Futurama reference.
Oh.
Okay, let's get to the other one.
Which is why we need to try anything at this point.
Replied Mr. Edwards. He looked at Dinella.
The hospital staff have agreed to allow us to stay here as long as necessary, especially considering the invasion is still going on out there. Will and I are going to head back to my place and grab some sleeping bags, extra cushions, and pillows so we can try to get to NiGHTopia from here.
We couldn't take any of the hospital supplies because As you stated earlier, the hospital is becoming crowded. It wouldn't be right to take their supplies when they need them.
Sinclair.
It makes sense.
I know, I said looking at the door.
Good. We're gonna fight over these lines, are we?
I'm just a quicker.
Ha ha. That's
But I think you should wait until after the girl and her mother arrive to run your errand. We will not be able to discuss our plans as freely when they get here. At least, not at first.
Mr. Edwards set a hand on the robot's shoulder, making the metal gesture look back at him.
You want them here, out of the other remaining rooms, but you don't want them to know? You're not making any sense, Xavier. What's going on?
Darnella looked at him, then back at the door.
I have a hunch. And I hope I'm right. But you may understand more when they get here. Why I invited them to stay in this room with us, and why I'm hiding Knights, Owl, and myself from sight.
Later. Okay, do you want to read, Ree?
okay, I get it.
Yay!
Time passes with more
Discussions.
discussions and plans. A knock at the door brought the
Conversation.
conversation to a close. Diana was behind the curtain before the door opened to
Reveal.
reveal a male nose in front of a stretcher.
Sorry to disturb you. We were told that you volunteered to have the next patient occupy the available bed. Is that correct?
Mr. Edwards nodded.
That's right. We are fine sharing this space.
The nurse nodded back and proceeded to help his fellow nurses push the little girl's stretcher into the room, the mother and the doctor right behind them. Lining up the stretcher next to the bed, the nurses were very careful in keeping the girl's splinted leg stable as they carefully transferred her to the bed.
There you go. Okay. I thought it was the same doctor.
Go ahead.
There you go, little miss.
So the doctor, as the nurses, took the empty stretcher out of the room.
Just rest easy and your legs should heal in no time.
The child nodded, and the mother gave the doctor a child's smile.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Doctor.
It is no trouble at all, Miss
Cooper.
Cooper. I'm just doing my job.
Replied the doctor, who then frowned.
Unusually, we don't have to use both beds in any of the rooms. We have so that each patient has their own private space in which to heal. But due to the current events, we cannot afford to give our patients such
Luxuries.
luxuries.
Dr. Jackson
Dr.
turned to look at the group.
Which is why I wanted to thank you for volunteering. It's saved us a lot of time.
Yes. Thank you for allowing us to stay in here.
Ms. Cooper added.
It is our pleasure.
Replied Dinella from behind the curtain. The mother blinked, recognizing the voice. Before she could say anything, Dr. Jackson regained her attention.
I'll be back to check on you both later. For now, try to get some rest. Doctor's orders.
A small chuckle was heard throughout the room, and the doctor left, shutting the door to keep out noise of the hallway.
I guess we should introduce ourselves.
Said Miss Claire.
I am Clarice Sinclair Edwards, and this is my husband, Elliot Edwards.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Greeted the blue-haired man, politely shaking the mother's hand.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Replied the mother.
Mama.
My name is Linda Cooper, and this is my daughter, Ryan.
Ryan gave a small wave.
Hi.
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 She's so cute.
Hi.
Little Ryan's so cute.
Hi.
Oi, I'm Tammy.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm Timmy.
What's a Tammy doing in here?
Yeah, I'll
He's
take
my
that.
pet.
There's a leak in the boat. Sorry.
Linda looked down at Will and Helen.
Are these your children?
Or laugh slightly.
No, but they might as well be. They're a couple of our students, as well as our injured friend behind the curtain.
Helen.
Okay. My name is Helen
Cartwright.
Cartwright. It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Cooper.
And I'm William Taylor, but you can call me Will. The guy with the weird voice behind the curtain is Xavier Daniels. He...
Hey!
King the weird voice again, making Linda jump.
Perfect time for the glitchy voice there.
No offense, Xavier, but your voice does stand out a little.
Molly's voice was heard along with a
Difficult.
stifled chuckling from Hal.
Oh yeah, laugh it up, Mr. Great.
Dinah muttered.
But that tune, Molly?
Ryan go from the interaction. There was
I got
a
it.
small. Okay.
Here, I got it. There was a small sound from NiGHTS as he woke up, but Molly quickly covered his mouth, being careful of his wounds, and signaled for him to stay quiet. They could explain Dianella's voice easily, but not NiGHTS.
Seeing Linda
See?
stare at the curtain, Mr. Edwards thought of a quick explanation.
Xavier has a condition. He didn't want to scare you or your daughter, so he decided to hide behind the curtain with his sister Molly Daniels and her son August.
August? You mean the boy who was kidnapped by those jesters?
Asked Linda before Dreamer saw Ryan perk up a bit. Yes.
Answered Molly, seeing Knight's expression change as he figured out what was going on and remained silent.
He was successfully rescued by his brave friends here and brought here to this hospital to recover.
Ooh.
It's Owl.
Ooh. I swear, this is not exactly what I signed up for. You got to pretty much help me. You know what? Could you at least give me a sign as to when my lines would pop up? I think you're making it.
Boo-hoo.
Wow, this is basically the first time you had a mental breakdown.
This is the first time that's ever happened. Wow.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, let's give him a moment.
That thing.
An abomination. That's what it is.
I'm just glad Shadow got the Omachow gun.
I bet Dr. Eggman made that to distract Sonic.
That is pretty
Want to
true.
drive him insane.
You've got the Omachow gun. Ah!
You got the magic hands. They do nothing, so ignore them.
You got a serious. You've got a tombstone.
You got a serious spinal condition from carrying so much junk.
You got the fighting gloves. They're yellow.
What the heck?
Yeah, you got the fighting gloves. They're yellow.
You got the
Hey,
I am
Bob,
gay
just give me
gloves.
some gloves with I am gay written on them.
You got the I am gay gloves.
I died of a serious spinal condition. I got better.
All right.
Alrighty, Owl, how you feeling now?
A bit better.
Are you okay to read your line?
Yes. Who started recording? That would have been my doing. Because of what you guys were doing. Oh, you cheeky little.
Wait, how long has he been recording?
Only for a minute.
Okay.
Jeez. What is sneak attack?
Aren't I
Oh,
clever?
re-attack.
Aren't I clever?
Yes, you're very clever. Now shut up.
All right.
Yeah, set up.
Do not sell yourself short, my dear.
It's Owl's time to shine.
Guys, seriously, we just got him calmed down. Linda heard the one called Mr. Great say.
You are just as brave as the rest of us, if not more so.
This.
Oh,
Go on.
okay. Linda smiled, moving to sit down beside Ryan's bed.
It's funny. Both of us lost our children, Miss Daniels. And then we were able to find them again. And somehow we end up in the same room together.
Molly gave a small laugh.
It is funny, isn't it?
Linda sighed. Then turned back to look at her daughter.
Speaking of that, ma'am,
Darnell uttered, looking at the three with him behind the curtain.
would you be willing to show us that object you found?
Linda blinked, looking back at the curtain next to her with a confused expression.
You mean the mask? Sure.
She slowly pulled it out. There were collective gasps from the four dreamers, and it took all of Molly's self-control not to pull the curtain open to see what they saw. Night and Owl, unable to do so themselves, stared at Dinella. I hope you know what you're doing. Mr. Edwards' eyes were wide as he stared at it in disbelief.
Where did you get that?
Ah, sweet! I can sell this on eBay! You better not!
Oh my god.
Etsy!
Okay, hang on. I gotta recompose myself. Oh, I almost lost it there. That was pretty good. It was next to Ryan when I found her this morning. We had been separated when the invasion started. It's a miracle she survived the night in that storm.
Answered Linda, looking at the golden object in her hand.
I held on to it in hopes of returning it to its owner, and to thank them personally.
Setting the mask on the table beside Ryan's bed, the mother looked up at the dreamers.
You know the person who owns this mask?
Nodding in answer to her question, the two adults and two teens came a little closer. Miss Sinclair. Go on.
Miss Sinclair held a hand to her mouth.
That's Riala's persona.
He never takes it off, ever.
Uttered Helen, memories coming to her.
It symbolizes his loyalty to his boss.
Loyalty.
Shut up.
Seriously, I've said it multiple times.
Shut up.
Honor, loyalty, honor.
Okay. Just
It's
continue.
Ryan again.
Well, that doesn't sound like... Oh, Ryan. Sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
This is Ryan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if Mia is a guy dressed in red, right, and black outfit with a weird hat, he did take it off.
said Ryan, gently taking hold of the persona and stroking the soft feathers
Absent-mindedly.
absent-mindedly. That turns out those feathers are pretty smoothing.
I think he was trying to look less scared. He helped me.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
Will uttered.
Why would Riella help a little girl?
Lena started to look worried, seeing the reactions of the people in front of her.
Who is Riella?
Al gave a small hoot from behind the curtain.
Dear Mademoiselle, Riella is a very dangerous being, one of the strongest nightmares ever created. He's a red and black jester, and is the nightmare general for Wiseman the Wicked, the ruler of nightmare.
The Nightmarans are those destructive alien creatures that have been coming through those portals.
Clarified Miss Sinclair upon seeing Linda getting confused.
They thrive off of spreading fear and chaos.
Right.
Okay. He didn't seem like that.
Ryan spoke up.
Well, he was a little scary at first, but he was nice. A few times he did look confused though.
Confused? Dear child, how so?
Asked Owl, tilting his head.
You know, I like to think he's doing that owl thing where they do tilt their heads to like,
Do, do, do,
you know.
do, 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 do. Yeah, that guy. Forgetting that Owl couldn't see her, she nodded as she continued to admire the mask.
Yep. He looked confused for a moment of
Most.
the time. Most of the time I saw him, I was very scared when I first saw him coming towards me. He didn't yell at me, but he seems to be getting angry. Then he looks sad, maybe worried.
The little girl remembered the jester's face as she studied the mask.
Anyways, he took off the mask and sheltered me from the rain as he checked my leg, but he never hurt me. He started to look angry again. Then, well,
Blank.
blink, I remember getting very tired and suddenly feeling very warm and safe. Then Mama found me.
That can't be Riella.
Molly finally uttered in a low voice.
He tormented my brother, and he hurt my son, almost killing him. I may have never met him personally, but I know that all he knows is pain and cruelty. Wow. Ouch. Rude much?
Jeez.
I may not be in here right now, but I can still comment.
I think you're wrong.
Ryan argued, shaking her head.
He was kind to me and never did anything to scare me. He was also very careful with my leg. He never hurt me. He kept me warm and safe. That scary thunderstorm. He saved me. I don't think he's bad.
How can that be?
Said Owl.
I have known that jester about him, anyway, since he was created. And he has never shown any kindness or favor to anyone but his master.
He likes trickery and causing misery to us humans with manipulation.
Will pointed out.
But if it was Riella, and he wasn't playing one of his tricks, what would make him act like that?
Asked Miss Sinclair. Darnell looked down, seemingly deep in thought.
I got it. Owl saw the subtle movement, glancing at the robot in suspicion, but he continued to speak to the others.
I like to think that he's like snickering. Just like that. I don't know, but it sounds like he didn't know why he was doing it either. If it was him, indeed him.
Brian looked down at the mask. It would be no use arguing with them. She knew what she saw, even if what they said was true. Her father had always told her that actions spoke much louder than words, and Riala's actions spoke volumes of his sincerity.
The little girl once more stroked the soft feathers on the jester's mask and hoped that she would be able to see him again soon. Is that how other visitors met with knights?
Mm.
Nothing.
I think you should at least narrate this first paragraph here, Riala.
All right. All right. Back to my wondrous voice. Anywho, hopefully you all don't get too blushy about it.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Disgusting.
A shadow disappeared down the alleyway, stopping on the other side as its owner spotted a television shop. The reflection of a glaring red jester obscured the image flashing on the televisions. He observed the video footage as his fellow nightmare terrorized the humans of the world and stealing their idea. But there wasn't any sign of the dreamers anywhere. The younger ones were also nowhere to be found. Not to mention that it was hard to even begin comprehending how the robot could hide for this long.
Riala bared his teeth, his own reflected image doing the same.
Where are they?
He looked down, trying to think of where they could be that he hadn't checked yet. He knew they were in this city, from Dianella's reports from before he betrayed Riala. Just like knights. A twinge of something went through him, but he tried to ignore it. He looked back up the screens and flinched back with a gasp as knights, burned and beaten, stared back at him in horror with lifeless eyes. Riala shook his head and looked back up to see that the vision was gone, replaced with a shaken red jester, the very one who killed his sibling, the one who antagonized his twin, the one who would soon meet the same fate. Riala gave a growl.
Shut up!
And slammed his armored fists and arms into the reflection, shattering the window of the shop and causing the alarm to go off. The jester looked at the broken glass and held his head. This was getting out of hand. He had to keep moving. He couldn't afford to stop searching. Somehow, he knew his time was running out.
All right, that's enough. Well, how do you think that went?
I think it went amazingly.
Yes, awesome.
Riala, I would give you a hug, but I know that she'd probably claw me in the face right now.
Nah, get over here.
Yay! Sorry, gotta be
hug.
nice. No,
No.
one at a time.
Yes.
No. I don't want to hug him. Not at all.
Nice hug.
See? See, Knight, I told you I can be as cruel.
Be as cruel or as cool?
Cruel. I won't always be as cruel, you know that.
Well, hopefully it'll be soon.
What are you even talking about?
Just... Well, you know what? Forget about it.
Can I have a hug now?
Sure, why not?
Hugs.
Is he purring?
He is.
well, I think he's getting used to hanging around female people more than he does with the guys. What can I
Well, of
say?
course he does.
Well, what can
I'm
I
sorry,
say?
Brianna.
Well, what can I say? It's not often I get like this.
Well, at least you're learning to
We love
relax a
you
little bit.
too.
You can
And he treats you a lot better than the Sonic fans do. Seriously.
Yes, I appreciate it.
It's
Ugh.
true.
The things they
Your
do over there.
costume is so awesome.
Hmm?
He's got an awesome costume.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, believe me,
But if there's something
I love
would-
his new outfit.
Well, if there's something I complain about with the fans who talk about me, is that they don't like my new design. I don't.
I'm a
understand.
fan.
Yeah.
I
I love
think
it.
it should have been better with the nails. Like they should have been black.
They were originally going to be red. Okay, they were going to be red.
Should have been
Well, I
black.
can go buy some. I can buy some nail polish if you need it.
It's fine. I already painted them.
Actually, you know what?
Okay.
A nice change for his outfit. Just in my personal opinion. If the darker bands on his hat were black again, so it could match the rest of his outfit, and if he took the wrappings off his chest so we could see his diamonds again. That's pretty much it.
That's literally just my black vest. It's just a black shirt underneath.
Oh, I thought it was wrappings.
No,
I'm
no, it's a shirt.
Either way, still looks cool.
It
But I
does.
like it.
Seriously. You see, Digi Valentine, these fans appreciate me.
Yes, we do.
They do.
And I do as well. I know Dinah's been talking a lot, but I do too. I'm over here.
Heck, he's even got fans from other franchises over here.
Yes.
My boy,
Huh?
Oh, no.
No.
my boy.
Oh, man.
I want a hug.
Please.
Gosh.
Why do they get a hug? I want a hug.
Okay. I'm out of here.
I'm right behind you.
I don't even want to even view that thing. Okay, it'll be okay. Just don't have the image in your head. Don't have the image in your head. Think of something
What's
else.
wrong, Yala?
Oh, you.
Seems
Now I
like
have a hug.
I have my dignity, and I know when to stop.
What about Knights? You need to give Knights a hug.
Yeah. Hug.
No. I absolutely refuse.
Hugs.
He doesn't deserve.
Hugs. No, you don't deserve a hug. Just
Your
you're
face
being
off.
Mr. Grumpy Pants.
I've been used to hanging around someone who literally appreciates, and it's usually Knights that literally gives it to me. You know what? It's not like it's gonna burn me or
Grumpy
anything.
Gills.
You know what? Fine. Knights, get over here.
Lightweight.
Relax. It's not like it's gonna kill me or ruin my pride or anything.
It'll ruin your dignity. I'd rather not touch the thing with a 3-foot pole.
Yeah, relax. I'm just gonna give him the bear hug, and that'll pretty much crush him.
I like your thinking.
All right. Oh, Knights. I have something to give you.
Nice bear hug. Bear hug.
Bear hug? What's a
Bear hug!
passing me?
Yeah, let go of her
Dragon,
before I hit you with the
dragon.
bat.
Okay.
Bear hug Riella! Bear hug Riella! Get him! Get him! Bear hug Riella!
Enough.
Okay,
No,
okay, enough. Okay, that's enough. Off him. Get off of him. I've been waiting to do something like that. High five.
Knights, hug him back. Hug him back.
Huh?
I think I'll wait till my spine is realigned.
Dragon.
I better put him on the couch.
Oh, wait.
I was
Don't do
waiting to
that.
do something like that.
Wait.
Hmm?
Hi.
Uh,
Sorry.
This
Oh,
is
tired.
I think I'll put Knights and let Knights stay with Ree tonight. There we go.
oh gosh.
Slumber party.
This has definitely
Great.
this has been a weird ending credits part.
Wait, they
Indeed.
got a
Oh,
broken knife.
yes, so that was chapter 27.
Yes.
Hey, 27.
Be sure to stay tuned for more visitors.
Yes.
Comment down below what you like
What
this
you,
episode so far.
You know, maybe you should do some
what
reading.
did you think?
You know, Self, you should do some narration next time.
Perhaps it might be the only way I even get into this story.
Yes, it's the closest thing you'll ever get to doing that. Who here wants to have Self do some narration? I
All right.
would.
Very well. At least it'll be entertaining.
Well then, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this chapter. And
Yep.
and we'll see you all in the next chapter whenever we get to it.
Bye-bye.
Have sweet dreams, visitors.
And be wary of
And
the
keep your
nightmares.
ears safe.
Nightmares.
Later, everyone!